Hello everybody, as promised, I'm back with part 2 of my collection videos should I say, for 2023. I posted a video showing you my copies of Please Please Me yesterday, so I'm going to try and keep up the momentum and show you today my little pile of copies of With the Beatles. So let me just set my camera up and I'll get on with it. So this is one that I inherited third hand alongside a couple of copies of Please Please Me that I showed you yesterday and some others. It's a mono copy. There's the spine. It's a Garrod and Lofthouse tri flip back sleeve with the misprint there. You really got a hold on me. Track B3 as the original inner sleeve. And there's the record. There are some surface marks on it. It's not in perfect condition, as you can see just there. But like I said with the Please Please Me one yesterday, these early 60s records are really resilient, and so it plays through really nicely. We've got Matrix XEX 447-1N on side A and 448-1N on side B. I think this is a very, very early one. You can see that it's got the two misprints there, and it's got the incorrect credit for money there. Interestingly, on a lot of copies of this, there's a couple of skips right at the start of Rollover Beethoven. That is actually a pressing fault. And so if you've got one of these and you've always been slightly disappointed with it, then that is why. It's not necessarily because the record is knackered. I've had a couple of those that I've bought and sold over the years, but this one actually plays through as it should. Yeah, it's got a couple of scratches, but it's a nice enough copy of a really rare record. So there's that one, which brings me on to this one. This isn't one that I ever really intended on keeping, but I think I got it as part of a job lot. And there was a couple of times I listed it on eBay for a pretty decent starting price, I think 20 quid, and I didn't have any takers. I thought, well, it's worth 20 quid to me, so I'll keep it. We've got an Ernest J. Day flip back sleeve without the typing error there. If I remember rightly, this one's probably in slightly better nick. Yeah, it's lovely, this one. So we got XEX 448-7N on side B. Sorry, I meant to show you side A first. 7N on side A. And this is very, very similar to the previous one, except it's got the corrected label. As you can see, you really got a hold on me. Track 3, and the correct Dominion credit for money. That is another lovely copy of With the Beatles, but it's surprising how much the value drops off between the first and second pressings there. I think because the first ones are just so very rare. Okay, 3 of 4 is this. Let's have a little comparison of the sleeves. Yeah, you can see here, look, that the right side of their faces on this are slightly lighter than on this mono sleeve, which is a bit unusual. There's the spine. Sorry, that didn't, there we go. And look at that. That is a really nice sleeve. It's got the corrected title for You Really Got a Hold on Me on the sleeve. YEX 110-2 on side A, and look at that. That is a stunner. A really beautiful copy. Very, very rare in stereo, these ones. And 111-2 on side B. And once again, it's got the incorrect spelling for track 3, and it's got the Jobet rather than the Dominion credit for money, which makes it, again, quite an early one. Quite a rarity. Of the 3 that I'm showing you today, I think that's probably the most valuable. Sorry, the 4 I'm showing you today. So that's that one. And I've got one more to show you. It hasn't got a stereo or mono caption at the top, which is quite unusual, but not sort of unheard of. But it is a stereo copy. It's got Garrett and Lofthouse sleeve. It's got the correct spelling for You Really Got a Hold on Me there. So you can see already that this is a slightly later pressing. From the inner sleeve, it advertises Abbey Road and Let It Be there, alongside McCartney there. And I've kept hold of this one because it is quite unusual. At the moment you're probably thinking, well, it's not that unusual. YEX 110-2 on side A. But if you look closely, it's got the earlier label on side B with just the 1 EMI box rather than the 2. So that's a bit of an unusual one. And we've got YEX 111-2 on side B. So I think that's probably from the late 60s. I think these 2 box labels were probably introduced right at the end of the 60s. That's slightly unusual in that it got 1 of each label. So there you go. That's my little tour through my copies of With the Beatles. So presumably coming up next, if and when I ever get round to it, I'll show you A Hard Day's Night. I think I've got 3 copies of A Hard Day's Night. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comments box. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, cheers everybody. Goodbye.